Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up my November 2021 bullet journal. The design for this month is 100% rubber stamps that I bought on Amazon. The link is down below in the description for anyone interested in purchasing these, but I just used some fall colors, ink pads, and just rotated the stamps out, and then I used some stencils that I have for the lettering, and again, all items that I used are linked below in the description. Overall, this design and setup was very minimal. It didn't take me a lot of time at all, other than the stenciling of the letters, and November being one of the longest months of the year, it did take more time than if I were to do this for a shorter month. But I find that this theme can be applied to any month of the year. All you have to do is switch out the colors of this ink that you use, so you can use pastel colors for the spring or holiday colors for December or anything like that. But this overall theme is very versatile and very easy to do. Instead of doing a quote page on this page, which is what I normally do, I just did a couple more stamps with my blocks and kept it pretty basic. Moving on to my calendar page, I used my blocks to cover different sides of the page, and my calendar itself is my typical layout of 6x6 boxes. Again, I used the stencil for the letters of the week and the month of November. For this month, I do not have my sidebar of to-do lists per usual, or as you've seen in previous months. I have that for future spreads, since November does have a lot of big things going on, from trips to major holidays, so I created to-do spreads later on in my setup. But here is my November 2021 calendar. These next spreads will have the similar quilt-like pattern applied to them, and these are my big to-do lists. I have a trip coming up at the beginning of the month, so I do need a packing list, and of course Thanksgiving is later on in the month, and we are hosting, so I will need a list for things to do before family arrives, and of course for the big day itself. These next two spreads are pretty much brain dump pages. Now that we are nearing the end of the year, I do need to start planning my content and ideas for 2022, so that is what this page will be. And the next page is just an upcoming page. December has a lot of movies and TV shows and books that I'm excited to check out, so I just wanted a page to list all of those just to keep track. So that is what these two pages are, and again, they just have my quilt pattern, nothing too extreme or fancy. The only thing that was pretty time consuming was filling in the letters of the stenciling. And again, if anyone is curious, both the stencils and the stamps that I use are listed below in the description. Moving on is my typical planning page for the next month. This is where I will plan out my December theme and my December layout. This is a holdover that I've had almost every month this year, and it is very useful for me. It just helps me set up my next month's bullet journal a little bit quicker and plan out my ideas and see how they look on paper. It's been a great tool for me, and I found it very useful. This is my first weekly spread of the month. It's a simple layout that usually takes me less than 10 minutes, and the days of the week are just in columns. It's perfect for busy weeks where you just need to list out everything that you have going on or your to-do lists. It's more handy when your week is busier just because of the space that is given beneath each day of the week, and because I was traveling this week and had a lot to do before leaving town, this spread came in handy. This is my second weekly spread for the month, and instead of columns, each day of the week is in a row, and the stamps are used again as backdrop to the date of the week. And this also does provide ample space for a lot to do, but it's just a different format. And again, it's very easy. There's more lines to draw, but it's another spread that doesn't take much time at all. Before we flip through my November setup, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And here is my November 2021 bullet journal setup. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time.